Baofeng. Storm.
Baofeng.
Hey folks, it's no secret. If you've been following my channel for any time, over the last couple of episodes, we've been talking about two-way radios, scanners, looking at satellites or listening to satellites, trying to get imagery off of them, talking to people that are far, far away and maybe not so far away.
Hi, go ahead.
I've gotten back into radios, and I've mentioned that once before, and to maybe bring you up to speed, as a young kid, I got into radios. I had friends around me that were all into it, and I had one adult mentor that was very much into it, and we just had a blast talking to people around the world. It's amazing. Well, as time went on, my interests went in other directions, so I let all that go. And it's been just the last, less than a year, maybe about a year now, that I've gotten reinterested. And it's all because of this stupid little radio called the Baofeng UV-5R, right here. I actually bought two of these things. Now, what it really boils down to is I wanted to be able to communicate with my wife if anything should happen, if cell towers should go blitzo.
Holy.
If the world catches on fire and cell phones go down, which they will, I'm hoping I can still have some communication, if not with my spouse, if she's somewhere else, but people that are around me in an emergency situation. So it's a little bit of that going on. Plus, it's been fun grabbing noises from space and making pictures out of them and trying to refine doing that. It's one of those little radios that you either love it or you hate it. And I don't love it or hate it. I just find it to be a very useful tool, very low cost. So much so I have two of them, one for my wife, one for me. I'm going to recommend one to you, maybe two, so you can hand it off to a spouse or other one in your home. I just to make it real clear, I currently don't have a ham operator's license or an amateur radio operator's license. I've been considering getting back into it again, but that means having to find another club, and I just don't want to be a part of another club.
I have spoken. Has anyone anything to say?
Look, Barney, they're breaking up the chair.
However, I do have my GMRS license, and that has proven to be a little more fun. There are repeaters. There's a network where you can, connect with your phone to your radio, and you can talk around the whole country. With just the radio, I can talk around almost the whole country. There's a guy. So I'm here in the Waco, Texas area. There's a repeater down in Troy, which is roughly 45 miles away. I can hit that repeater with this thing. You've seen me do that a couple of times if you've watched. Just doing a radio check out to the repeater in Troy. Did you hear that kerchunk back? That means I hit the repeater. There's a guy in San Jose, California, where I'm originally from. I can talk to that guy all the way back in San Jose with this radio just outside the door here of my tool shed. I can't quite do it inside of here because the line of sight and the wall blocks the... We can talk about that later. But I can talk to San Jose. It was kind of fun. Very helpful. Before I go any further, what I'd like to do, and I've promised this before, is let's get to the specs. Overall length, 4 1/8 inches. Add 5 3/4 inches for the antenna. You do the math. It's about 2 1/4 inches from its widest points. It did come with this handy wrist strap, so you can get caught on things and have it dragged out of your pocket. Has a cool rubber ducky antenna. Works okay. We'll explore more of that later. It comes with earphones, microphone, and this plug thing that plugs into the side upside down. It comes with this 18 milliamp hour lithium ion battery. Slips right back here. Oh, yes, it does have a clip. What's nice is the clip screws right into the top of the body, not the battery. So you can slide the battery out just by doing that. It comes with this charging base, this charging pack, which plugs into the base. And when you plug it in and get your radio in there, you charge the thing up. This radio came with a sticker that says it can TX. It does have all of these FCC certification things on the back too. It came with this beautiful manual that is actually written in English, not Chinglish. It speaks to you when you turn it on.
Channel mode.
Actually, it speaks to you a lot.
6261160.
It'll even help you learn Chinese.
菜单设置
新年快乐. That's Happy New Year. Out of the box, it does VHF from 136 to 174 and UHF from 400 to 520. But as you can see here, you can do more than that. It's got 128 channels you can rifle through.
Power.
You got high mode and you got low mode. That's 5 watts and 1 watt respectively. It has this dual band window so you can see 2 bands at one time or 2 frequency settings at one time, and a bunch of really tiny little numbers all around the thing. That's not tough to read, but if you don't have enough light, good luck. This button here, when you press it,
Chicken sandwich. It is? What? Yes.
it'll play your favorite FM station. When you press this button, a light comes on, and it's pretty useful in the dark. Press it again, it starts flashing like, I don't know why. It's not even SOS. Press it again, it shuts off. That very same orange button, if you press it and hold it down,
Enough about their Apple Watch.
oh my gosh, yeah, it just makes these annoying noises. This is where you plug in your speaker and microphone, like this. Or, in this case, your data cable so you can hook it to your computer and do the programming in a much easier way. More on that later. Here is the push to talk, or the PTT button. When you press it and the power's turned on, stuff comes out of this antenna. Don't do it unless you have a license. Well, there are a couple of exceptions. You can listen to the weather.
460s. Sunday night, mostly cloudy. We'll play with this a little more later, but this is what it sounds like through the radio.
As in every one of our videos, here's the moment you've all been waiting for. It weighs in at 7.5 ounces. That's with the strap and the antenna and the battery. Now, I don't have any experience with the older radios. I am told that some of the older radios, older versions of this, of the UV-5R, had, I guess, spurious RF issues. I think they've kind of fixed all that with this current version. Now, another thing I got to make very clear. It does not require any FCC license to listen on this radio. And that's probably our biggest advantage, is listening, not necessarily speaking, but listening to the radio. If things go sideways, you want intelligence, you want intel of what may be going on. My wife and I this morning were sitting down having breakfast. We heard sirens, sirens after sirens after sirens. And I got on the radio. I just listened. I didn't talk. I listened on the radio, and I found out what was going on. It was a parade. It's Veterans Day. By the time you see this, I don't know when it's going to be, but it was Veterans Day, and they had fire trucks and police cars, and they were parading down the road with all their sirens on. So it wasn't a disaster, but I knew that it wasn't a disaster because I listened. Pretty cool little radio. It is designed to be dual band, that is 70 centimeter and 2 meter. That's primarily where it is. But I'm telling you, this particular model I wish I could show you. Maybe I'll do a little bit of a close-up. This particular model that I have, with the aid of some software, and I'm going to suggest when you get one of these, get one, okay? When you do, you'll also want to download a piece of software called Chirp. And you can open up all sorts of possibilities with this radio. It's not just a 2-band radio. It's a 3-band radio, believe it or not. And you can get at a wide range of frequencies with it. Cool little radio. Cool little thing. I will say, when you go out and buy one of these, you're not going to be satisfied with the rubber ducky. Maybe if you're just talking, a couple of miles away, it'll probably do just fine for you. But I've experimented with a lot of different antennas, and for the price, this Abri antenna, and it's kind of one of these bendy tactical antennas, which has been serving quite well. All I did was unscrew the rubber duck. It uses that little connector there. So be careful when you're buying your antenna, but when you buy the Abri, make sure you get the one that will fit with it. I also, and I don't have it with me, but I'll throw in a picture. I picked up the Baofeng data cable that plugs in to here, and it plugs into the USB port of your computer. You can download Chirp, either the Linux version, the Mac version, the Windows version. There's quite a few versions. Go take a look, download it, because to try to program this thing on this little keypad with this little window, it'll drive you crazy. Now the manual is very, very useful. It is helpful. But I'm telling you, it's so complicated, and I don't like complicated. I really don't. I understand it, but every time I don't commit it to memory. And if you're the kind of person that commits this kind of thing to memory, bravo, do it. I choose not to. I'll either go to the manual or just simply use Chirp. It makes it so easy. But you can program this radio. It's got 128 channels available, positions basically for all the different frequencies that you want to put in. And it kind of sets it up in a couple of different ways. There's a channel mode and there's a frequency mode. Use the manual when you get it. Use the manual, or just leave a comment down below. Maybe you already have one. I'll answer your question in the comment section. But get this antenna and get the data cable. Get this radio. I think all in with the data cable, 2 radios, 2 antennas, I didn't spend any more than $50. Yeah, this was pretty cheap. I bought it as a pair, and they were cheap, and it works. 2 radios came as a pair. Well, I bought them as a pair. They didn't come as a pair. They were 2 in the box. And then the data cable came with a bit of software, but you actually download the software, the most latest version of it from the interwebs, and you'll be all set for less than $50. You've got yourself a pretty reliable radio. Well, let me make it clear. The radio has not failed me. When I say reliable, I mean communications reliability. It depends on your terrain. It depends on where you're at. You're going to have to learn a little bit about that stuff. Now, it does have the smaller 18 milliamp hour battery, the one that I got here, but you can buy from Baofeng, you can buy the heavier, dutier battery, which will last you 2 or 3 times as long if you need to do that. If you're going camping and you don't have a way to charge this thing up over a period of a few days, you may want to get that bigger battery. It does add a little bit of a length to it. This thing is so tiny as it is, though. Very, very lightweight. And I like to do this and then put the little Velcro thing around, and it stays nice and compact. I can slip it in my backpack, and when I need it, I just do that, and I'm ready to go. I like it. And then I hang on to this because maybe I'm going fishing and I just need to talk to my fishing partner, the shooting kid or shooting gal, whoever, and we're just across the lake. This will do just fine. You don't need this bigger antenna. Now, they do make a longer version of this. Kind of ridiculous. There's a 4-foot version. I didn't go with that one. This one's 18 inches long, and that's probably long enough for my needs. Do your research. you may need the longer one. You know what they say about people that think they need long.
I can take care of it.
So that's coming off the repeater that's down in Troy.
No clue what I did.
Oh, when I tilt it this way, I've got pretty good gain.
Okay, copy that. I'll get right back to you. Plug one in your pocket of your jacket.
Man, he walked right over him. I'm going to leave a link down below so you can do your research from the FCC on what bands are available, what's GMRS, where is that? There's another band called MERS, or Multi-Use Radio Service. You don't need any license. There is one thing, however, you do need to know. To broadcast, you have to have an FCC type permit on that radio in order to broadcast on specific frequencies. Okay, I know. We're only listening, folks. Okay, that's all I'm suggesting, is to listen. If you squeeze the push to talk button, make sure you're being compliant. I have to say that because it's the right thing to say. It's not on, it doesn't matter. There you go, Baofeng Storm. I really like it. I'll have a link down below. There'll be a link up in the card, wherever that stupid thing ends up being. And I'll just set it up so that it'll have the Abri antenna, the radio, the data cable, and maybe I will put where you can get the bigger batteries, or you have a couple of options of radios. I highly recommend it. You're going to need it. That's all I got. I'll catch you on the next video.